Ah, and poor Sister Marguerite, she didn't sleep a wink at the thought of meeting Mother Abundancia, but she met her all right. After a sleepless night, she's there in the front parlour with the community, and they're none too pleased. Can you picture it? All them peering eyes, and they're not of Franciscan charity. They're of disgust. So the provincial Sister Bonaventura said, Sister Marguerite, will you please explain yourself and tell us exactly what happened on your so-called 2-week leave from us, your first trip outside in the world in 3 years. Sisters, good morning, and thanks for being here and thanks for listening to me. Now, I'm telling you now, she says, it's like this. I never in a month of Sundays thought I'd bring the community into disrepute. But you've all known that Father Ted and I are more than close. I mean, we've never slept together. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, we haven't. But how can you help the throes of passion? Sure, he wanted to treat me to some nice French lingerie, sister, said Mother Abundancia. Well, whatever it is, it was very nice, and I was trying it on, and the curtain was pulled back, and I nearly dropped everything. It was Father Ted. And before I knew it, I was being throttled. But I liked it. And then I realised what I was missing and giving up. So something clicked. Ah, yes. I realised for the first time in my life what I'd be missing. The love of a good man. And I found it. And look what's happened to us. We've been disgraced in the papers. You can say that again, said Sister Bonaventura. We're all disgraced. We've all seen the paper. And as I said to Mother Abundancia, we've had people ringing us from different religions wanting to know what the hell is going on with the Teo community of St. Francis. Have we dropped our standards? It's more like that someone's dropped their drawers. Mother of God, said Mother Abundancia, enough talk. So what do we do with you? Well, sister, I haven't taken the vows of celibacy, so I don't know what all the fuss is about. I took the 7-fold vows as laid down, the greatest vow being detachment and trusted in abundance and providence. I thought celibacy was optional. It is, sister. And didn't you take it? No, I did not, sister. Ah, will you go on, for Jesus' sake. Why would I take celibacy? Sure, I want to get married to Father Ted. That's my agenda. I worked and skivvied for him as a housekeeper for years with that Father Jack fella, and I'm telling you now, I'm not settling for second best. So Mother Abundancia interjects and she said, right, sister, you have a choice to make. You need to have a serious discussion with Father Ted and then decide what the two of you are doing. You can still remain members of the community, but you can't live in the cloister. We'll have to arrange a lodge in the grounds for you to live there. And all of a sudden, Sister Marguerite starts getting the most violent cramp. So Sister said, Sister, are you all right? What's the matter with you? Mother, she's gone pale. She's collapsing on me. She's collapsed, said the other sister. Oh my Jesus, what's wrong with her? Oh, sister, what's to do? So Sister Alphonsus comes over and gives her a little bit of mouth to mouth because she passed out. Well, anyway, she came round and she's lying there and she said, I feel awfully sick. What? I feel awfully sick. I'm going to be sick. And she spuked all over Mother Abundancia's beautiful Germanic slippers with the gold thread. And she was none too pleased, smelling the vomit coming up from her lovely shoes. Well, there's holy poverty for you. But anyway, so they got Sister off to bed, made her comfortable, and Sister Bonaventura said, I want a word with you, Sister Mother Abundancia. And Sister Alphonsus, come here, I want you as well. There's more to this than meets the eye. What's going on? Well, I was a midwife before I became a member of the Teo community, and I'm telling you now, I'd rest me bottom dollar on this one. She's pregnant. How could she be pregnant? I'm telling you now, she's pregnant, and we're going to have a little member of the Teo community running around if we don't sort this out. So the door closed, the sisters escaped, and there was just Sister Bonaventura, Alphonsus, and Mother Abundancia sat in the parlour with their hands in their heads, screaming, "My Jesus, what are we going to do with this square woman?" And then the doorbell went. So thankfully another sister answered the door, Sister Galapagos, and this man stood there with a dog collar on him, looking ever so forlorn. "Yes, what can I do for you, Father?" "I've come to see Sister Margarita." "Well, who are you?" "I'm Father Ted." "Well," Mother Abundancia could hear the conversation. She went to the door and she said, "You get yourself in here now. Look at the disgrace you've caused. Look at the size of you. I'm old enough to be your mother. Now get in there now and explain yourself. You practically raped Sister Marguerite. She was exposed in all the papers. What have you got to say for yourself?" "I love her, Mother Abundancia. And we don't want to leave the community. We want to still be members, but we want to be married and be husband and wife." "Well, you've no choice now, have you? She's pregnant, I'm sure of it. She started with feckin' morning sickness. And what can we do about it?" "Morning sickness?" "Yes. When you practically ripped every part of clothing from her body and left her starters. And then when you're forced out of the store by the security people. But from Arnott's, I wouldn't have minded if it was low cost. Or Tesco. But not Arnott's. Sure, that's where I get all me clothes from for the community. Arnott's. I'm ashamed of you, Father. Ashamed." So he said, "I'm awfully sorry, Sister Mother Abundancia, whatever you're called." So Mother Bonaventura, Sister Bonaventura, she likes to be called Mother. I mean, she's not given birth yet, but however, she said, "Look, come and sit down and let's sort this out. You're going to have to make an honest woman of Mrs. Doyle, Sister Marguerite. She says she's not taken the vow of celibacy, so we're spared any disgrace there. So I think we should arrange for you to get married sooner rather than later, so that when the little chiseler is born, he's born into a good family." Alphonsus agreed. She said, "I'll make the wedding cake." "Oh, sister, we're not talking about food here. We're talking about trying to clear our name and hold our head up." "What do you mean?" "Well, think of it, sister, the disgrace. A nun, starkers and harlots, all over the papers of Ireland. Oh," she said, "I'm going to have one of me turns. I'm going to have a lie down. I need me smelling salts. Sister Ambrosia, will you send one of the sisters, Galapagos, whoever, to bring me some water and some aspirin? I'm going down to me lodge. I just can't take any more of this scandal." "Right, Mother Abundancia." Then there was a hush, a silent hush, and the door opened, and it was Sister Marguerite, looking like a ghost. She'd heard a rumour that Father Doyle was in residence. So she went running over to him, put her arms round him. He held her passionately in his arms. He said, "Poor Mrs. Doyle, what have I done to you?" She said, "Whatever you did, I liked it. And I think I'm carrying your child. Sister Bonaventura is convinced of it, and she was a midwife. Well, I'm telling you now, we have to do something. Let's get married. Let's give this little chiseler a decent upbringing." Mother Abundancia suggests that we could have one of the lodges in the grounds and still live as members of the Teo community, but as a married couple. What do you think? Should that be great? So then they just hugged one another, embraced one another, and they just walked hand in hand through the cloister up to the chapel. And there they sat hand in hand. And she's feeling really gippy, or as they say in Yorkshire, sick. But he just placed his healing hands over her, and the sickness fell away. And they looked at one another and they thought, "Ah, Father Ted, I have lusted for you all my life, and never in a month of Sundays did I ever think that you would follow me into the Teo community and become a member. And never in a month of Sundays did I think that I would be left Starkers in Arnott's, the poshest place in Dublin. And then to be shown I've always wanted fame in the community, but not in the national press. Ah, but sure, good will come from this, Sister Marguerite, said Father Doyle. Good will come from it. We've got one another at last. Guess who will get to say the Mass for the wedding? Father Jack. Oh, Jesus, you won't. You'll be effing and jeffing with them. Ah, no, sister, this is a celebration. This is a celebration. And at that they hugged one another and they fell asleep in each other's arms. All three of them.